I mean, it's a fancy word that's made from two Greek words. It means love of oneself as a woman. And I basically did refer to it earlier, but I just said that it's erotic cross-dressing that's become a fixation. So it's not exactly that, because the fixation isn't necessarily on the clothes, it's on the body. But they're, I mean, the best estimate of the number of men who are erotic cross-dressers is about 3%. So some share of those men, it's not just about the clothes for them, it's about the whole idea of being a woman. That's what's erotic. They imagine being a woman when they're making love. They imagine being a woman, turns them on to just do anything that is coded female. And I don't mean necessarily dressing up in rubber and high heels. I mean, there have been a few books written, very frank books by men who recognise that they're autogynephilic, and they say anything that's coded female. So like knitting is sexy, or taking a pill and pretending that it's the contraceptive pill, or, going to a women's book group as opposed to a mixed book group. Anything that they can sell to themselves as I'm really a woman is in itself sexy. And that, the clinicians have known for decades that a significant number of the men who come saying, I'm meant to be a woman, it is driven by their erotic fixation on that idea. And the men will commonly disguise that, but there are ways, which I don't know how vivid you want me to be. There are ways of telling when men are turned on, including in a research setting. And so, this idea has been tested and has been found to be sound. Like, people will tell you that this is a debunked idea. It is absolutely not. The research is as sound as anything in this field. Really pretty sound. But the fantasy isn't about pretending to be a woman. It's about actually being a woman. And that means that somebody who tells you you aren't is destroying something very precious to you. So those men are quite vicious to women who say, look, wear what you like, but you can't come into women's spaces because you're not actually a woman. Because that woman is destroying their dearest fantasy and the thing that has become, over time, incredibly central to their desires, image of themselves, longings for the future, their idea about what it is to live a good life, all those things. And so they turn on you. They hate you for it. Like, all I ever say is, you can't change sex, and I'm not going to pretend you can. I never say to a man who says he's a woman, or even about a man who says he's a woman, I hate you, you're a pervert, or, you're a bad person, or you can't wear dresses. I just say, but you're not a woman. And, half of humanity isn't women, and they're fine. There's nothing wrong with being a man. And if you're not a woman, then you can't come into women's spaces, you can't get onto women's shortlists, you aren't entitled to play women's sports, I'm not going to call you a woman. And I'm treated as if I am the worst human being in the world for saying all of that. And the doctor the clinician who created the name autogynephilia, a Canadian guy called Ray Blanchard, he's retired now. Like, I think he's still reasonably active, but he's in retirement, and he watches the way that some very high profile middle-aged male transitioners talk about and to women like me online, and he sees a narcissistic rage in it. They hate us because they see us as withholding what they want, which is validation. And I mean, in particular, those men, if they're heterosexual men, as they pretty much always are, they see themselves as lesbians because they're now women. So they want lesbians. They want into lesbian spaces. And so lesbians come under more pressure than anyone else on this. And a lesbian who says, sorry if this is beyond your comfort zone, but lesbians have these slogans like lesbians don't do dick. Like, that lesbian she's a bigot. She's a bigot for drawing the line at her own body as to who she's willing to have sex with. I think that's another reason this has all gone so far, is there are a small number of really, really, really vicious men pushing it.